after you use it. And if you draw out an infection, and usually you can tell if you draw the infection out. If you're just using this as a pain, because this here, without the sugar, is a good thing just to use on if you got a backache. It'll help draw the pain out. The sugar is for the infection part of it, to kill off the bacteria and everything that's in there. So basically what I did is I started by grinding up some flax seeds, and they don't need to be perfectly ground. If you get them to a fine grind, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. You just want to release the oils, and that's what we started doing. And then if you want a rough recipe, what I'd say is about twice as much flaxseed to the charcoal. So if you have 2 tablespoons or 6 tablespoons of flaxseed, then you want 3 tablespoons of the charcoal. I don't do that. I just do it till it looks good. So that's and you are working with charcoal, so you are going to get messy, and things that you're going to be working with is going to get messy. Just the way it is. That's just what happens. So you're going to get a little on your hands, and that's just the way it is. Whoop. And hopefully I don't do that again. Charcoal also, especially activated charcoal, because it's powdered, it just flies away. That's why I start by putting just a little bit of olive oil. This already had some in there, but I put a little olive oil in it just to kind of hopefully keep it from flying away. Later I'll put in just enough olive oil to bind it all together. And then sugar. The sugar is just, this is not the draw. So this is just, like I said, to kill off any bacteria that does come out of the skin. So I just put in a couple pinches. You want to make sure there's sugar in every bit, so however much you've got, just make sure that you got sugar in every little bit of it. Okay. And you can, like I said, you can do this in, the charcoal doesn't need to be ground up, the sugar doesn't need to be ground up, the only thing that needs to be ground up is the flax oil. So if you don't want to make a mess like this and have to clean it all up, which I do all the time, so it doesn't faze me, but if you want to do that, you can put it into a plastic, you can put this through the food processor and then put it into a plastic bowl, and then when you're all done, you can just throw the plastic bowl away and you don't have to worry about trying to clean it up. And now I'm just trying to put just enough in just to make it so it holds together. The olive oil is not, or whatever kind of oil you're using, is not part of the medicine. It's the binding agent. Oop, and I'm making a mess, which I'm going to do. And so you just want it just enough to make a paste. Then we have a plate here with a piece of plastic wrap on it. The plastic wrap, poultices can be whole plant poultices, but if you're going to use ground up plants like mustard plasters or anything like that, usually it's just easier to have it on plastic wrap. And so we're going to just carefully scoop that out. I just wanted that nice and mixed. And and then I'm going to spread it out. Now, I'm sending this home with her, so if you want, you can put it in like a throwaway plastic bowl that you don't mind going away, and just send it home with them like this. This can be rolled up. In fact, that's what I'm going to do, is just roll this up. Can you guys even see what I'm doing? Kind of halfway, can't you? Roll it up. You can put a second piece of saran wrap over the top, which a lot of times is what I do, and I may end up doing that here before I get done. Let's see, you guys just slide off to the side there. And anyway, to use this, because I'm not going to use it on myself, so I can't show you how to use it, but I can tell you to use it, what you do, and remember, this is charcoal, so you're going to get black. You're using this because you feel bad, not because you don't want to get dirty. So this is actually quite a good size charcoal blaster, but charcoal compress. Anyway, what you're wanting to use, what you do is you take a little bit like your olive oil. You want a food grade oil. Anything, if you don't feel safe putting it inside of you, it shouldn't go on your skin. So you take a little bit of oil and you rub it on the area that, if you're using this to get rid of pain, that hurts. If you're using it to get rid of an infection, that has the infection. Then, if you have a boil, this time of the year with the heat, some people will get boils in their sweat glands, and they'll get very large. You can use it for that as well. So then you put the oil on it, and then you put, with the charcoal side down against your skin, put the charcoal over the oil. Then you put a towel over that, and if you want, if you have a microwave, you can heat this up, and so it's warm, or you can also just carefully put it over. If you got some steam, you can roll this up so that your hands stay out of the steam, so that, you know, the charcoal's in the middle and your hands are holding the outside edge, and then just carefully put it over the steam to kind of heat it up, and so that it's warm. Warmth is another draw, so you know, the warmer the better. Then so you've got the oil down, then you put this down so the saran wrap is up and the plaster's against your skin, and then you put a towel over that, and then you put some sort of something to heat. So this is going to go over the right kidney, so it'll be on the middle part of her back, or not the middle part, but the right side, just right of her backbone, just above her buttocks, and she'll oil that, put this down, put a towel over it, and then she'll put something she'll be laying on her stomach, and something for heating. Most people have heating pads. If you don't, you can take a sock, fill it with rice, clean sock, obviously, fill it with rice, stick the rice. If you got a microwave, you can nuke it for a couple minutes. It'll warm up. If you don't, have your oven very low, put the sock on a cookie sheet and just put it in for a couple minutes, just enough to heat the rice up. You don't want to get it so hot you can't touch it, because you don't want to burn yourself. And then you put the rice sock over the heat. Hot water bottle works fine. I have one friend that says her cat is her hot water bottle, that she puts the cat loves to cuddle, so if she needs to have something, she talks about it mainly with her periods, but anyway, she'll put the cat over her stomach and the cat is like her hot water bottle. How I'm going to do this is I'm going to get another piece of saran wrap, put it over the top of this, so I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so then I put another thing of saran wrap on top of it, and I should have had it a little more straight before I put it on, because the point of putting it on top is, now you got to peel this off before you use it. You want that charcoal and the flax seed has to come in contact with your body, or it's not going to be a draw. But then you can just roll this up and take it with you, and then just roll it, and you'll have to throw away whichever piece you peel off the top, whichever side you decide is your top piece. And this is how I'm going to send it home with her, so that she has the plaster. If you don't have an infection, if you're just using it to draw out pain, you can roll this back up, stick it in the back of your freezer, and you've got it for the next use. But if you use it to pull out an infection, obviously now the infection is in the charcoal and the flaxseed, and you certainly don't want to be reusing that. Even if you're using the sugar and the sugar is killing off the infection, you certainly don't want to be reusing it. And as I said, you can use this, you can do this with the piece of bread that you burn to within an inch of its life, and you scrape the charcoal off, but the basically activated charcoal is it's like much better. It's going to draw a lot better. Different stories that I've done, and I came into activated charcoal late in my life, so it wasn't something I was raised with. I came into it with college, and used it quite a bit actually in college. When I took a trip, and the first time, the reason I used it is I took a trip where we needed to take medicine to keep us from getting malaria, and I had a reaction to the medicine. Only time I've ever had any reaction to anything, and I had to get reaction to malaria medicine, and that made me as sick as having malaria practically, and I ended up just being bedridden. And somebody gave me activated alcohol slurry, and like boom, it was like 12 hours later I was like literally just flat out on my back. Couldn't think. I was so sick. Don't talk to me, don't make me think. And within 12 hours I was up and just felt fine. And then I just kept taking this while I was taking the medicine. I also took this when I had Lyme's, and I had to take the antibiotic to get rid of the Lyme's. And when Lyme's dies off, if you have a big heavy dose of it, as it's dying in your body, it starts decaying literally in your body. It's live things dying and decaying in your body, and it creates ammonia. And ammonia in your system hurts like sin. Believe me, it hurts like sin. And I took I drank the slurry, and that just kept it, absorbed that ammonia and kept it, you know, so I didn't get as hurt that some people do who have Lyme's disease really bad. So basically, just think, if you want something out of your body, this helps get rid of it. So, charcoal poultice, and I should be getting ready for my friend to show up. So anyway, charcoal poultice, just in case somebody hasn't made one of those before.